y'all come on in and let's have us another visit here on The Humble Show. I'm Grant Fletcher, and I'm being joined by my co-host, Brandon Cox. There he is. Brandon, how are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing cool. I'm doing cool as always.
Awesome. Good. Good to see you, dude.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling okay. I have a tattoo entering the peely stage right now.
You do? Yeah, you keeping it hydrated?
Yeah, you got to. You know what I mean? I'm trying to right now. I don't know if you can see it. You can kind of... I'll show it on the camera here if you're watching on it. You can't really tell.
Very colorful.
Put it in my Instagram stories. That's why... so you should have been following me like a week ago as this drops, so you could have seen it.
If you haven't, what a shame.
What a shame. What a shame. That's what I want to know. Well, Brandon, right off the top here, do you have a song recommendation or two for us?
Yeah. This week is just going to be one, just because I really want to plug this 30-year-old band.
Okay.
The band is Drive Like Jehu, and the song I believe is Step On Chameleon. Let me take a look. You know what? It's known as Step On Chameleon. Excellent band. I think that they are absolutely punk rock incarnate. This is their first album. It was a self-titled album, and it is good, but not anywhere. It is like the Terminator to the next album's Terminator 2. It's really good. It's fantastic, and you need to listen to it. But still, it's not anywhere near as monumental as the second album, which is funny. And their Wikipedia page says something different. But here's a story that I remember being told. So Drive Like Jehu, very like noisy post-hardcore math rock with a little bit of emo sprinkled in. I remember reading that one of the guitarists, I think his name is John Rees, he had another band at the time called Rocket to the Crypt. And they were a lot more like alternative rock leaning, and they had like a horn section, but they were not ska punk. They were just, an alternative rock band with a horn section. And this is what you could do back in the 90s, kids. If you were being courted by a major label, you could say, all right, sure, I'll let you sign me. If you sign my other noisy, crazy, hectic post-hardcore band.
Yeah.
And Interscope said, okay,
yeah.
Deal. And so their next album, I believe it's called Yank Crime. It is noisier and like more cacophonous and just louder than the first album. And it's on a major label. I love how like it was the Wild West days back then, and we'll never have that again. But ladies and gentlemen and kids at home, if you have not listened to Drive Like Jehu, do it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. For me, what I am going to go ahead and recommend this week is a song by a fan favorite, but not necessarily one of the fan favorite songs, but still a very, very good song indeed.
Yeah.
It's a song by the Beastie Boys returning to their hardcore punk roots.
Yeah.
It's called I Want Some by the Beastie Boys. And it was on an EP that they put out in, I think, 95?
Yeah.
Aglio e Olio. It was like a hardcore punk EP that they did, like, oh, we're going to take it back old school. It was very good. It worked out really well. It's got like 10 tracks on them, but they're all like only like a minute and a half long.
Yeah,
I think the longest one's maybe only like 2 minutes long. So, they just kind of threw together a bunch of, like I said, hardcore punk stuff like they used to do back before they really were the Beastie Boys. And a song called I Want Some. It's a good tune. It's a good track.
I think I recall that after they released that EP, they toured for that EP in Australia, and that was it.
Yeah. Honestly, that's probably why a lot of people don't really know about it.
Yeah. But like, once again, like, that's just the cool stuff that you could do back in the 90s if you were, a fairly popular act. You could, or even like in the case of my example, not even that popular. But you could just do that, and the label would be like, "Yes, absolutely, it makes sense. We'll do it. We'll foot the bill."
Yeah.
And you could just do it, and it was cool.
I mean, basically, yeah, it was their. They did it on their own record label that they sort of kind of like partnered with. I think Capitol Records or
Yeah, they
something
probably
like that.
distributed it.
And they partnered up. They did their own label and they released it themselves, and they ran it for, I don't know, not even quite 10 years, honestly.
Yeah.
But let's see how many artists I actually had on there.
Is it called Yep Rock? I think.
Yep Rock. What's that?
Is the label called Yep Rock? I think it's
Grand Royal Records as well.
Oh, what the heck am I thinking of?
And it had a very kind of 90s hardcore punk type of logo on it too. Like, looks like a hand drawn like logo that they had for their record label. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I think I recall them putting out some pretty eclectic stuff, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, really, there's a lot of, like, if you go through the list of bands that are on there, there's like you said, eclectic. It's an eclectic type list of songs. And, songs are really what we're going to be talking about here today, because, it's a meme now, right? Like, as soon as the clock strikes midnight on November 1st, All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey just starts playing in every single retail store across America, probably even the Western world, the English-speaking world, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, and the thing is, it's not like it's a terrible song, but when you hear it so many times for at least 2 months out of the year, kind of does grate on you after a while, right? And I think that's really what the main gripe a lot of people seem to have with Christmas music in general, is that you just hear the same handful of songs over and over again. And we're firmly in that season right now, okay? We haven't hit Thanksgiving yet, but we all know it, Humble Fam. We know that Christmas music retail season is upon us. So Brandon and I have decided we're going to set out on the task here of maybe trying to help out, okay? And maybe helping you contribute some songs to your Christmas music playlists that are just not like the traditional ones, not the ones that are really fully played out yet.
So, and I don't quite know how to get into this, but I mean, you mentioned the Mariah Carey "All I Want for Christmas," and I could be just losing it in my old age, but I seem to recall about 10, 15 years ago, the consensus being, hey, this, all these holiday songs are so played out, but All I Want for Christmas Is You, that's kind of one that I look towards. And I once again, I could be tripping, but like I thought that was the consensus about 15 years ago. I know that it's changed since then, and God only knows that someone in charge of the Christmas music and retail everywhere in like the Christmas stations, chances are they saw that and they're like, okay, they don't hate this one, so let's play the shit out of it. Let's make people regret they said that they liked something.
Well, let's see. All I Want for Christmas Is You release date. When did that come out? That had to have been.
Oh, it had to have been like late 90s.
94, mid 90s.
Oh, mid 90s.
So, yeah, I think we just hadn't had time yet 15 years ago to get sick of it like we are now.
I can only guess that. And here's the thing. I haven't worked retail in nearly, I don't know, like 15 years or so.
It's been roughly about the same for me, yeah.
And I haven't worked like any restaurant job in about a decade or so. It's been just, pretty much, boring warehouse and office jobs since. So here's my thing. And mostly because I am a hermetic son of a gun, and I'm not going out places and shopping for Christmas. I'm using the internet. I don't have just too many songs that I cannot hear, with the exception of a handful. But among those that I don't mind hearing is that Mariah Carey tune. I think it's solid. I think it's peppy. It puts a smile on my face.
Well, there you have it. Brandon Cox officially weighing in on All I Want for Christmas Is You. He says it's A-okay, everybody. And, you know, I mean, here's the thing. It's still played because there are still a lot of people that like it. There's just a lot of people that are tired of it. That's all.
I've already had people like send me memes of,
of course.
you know, like, oh, we can't hold her back anymore. Here she comes. And I'm just like, who cares?
She's free again, everybody.
Yeah,
We let
fine,
her out
good.
2 months of the year. There we go.
I've seen her live. She's great. She deserves all of the success that she has that's come her way.
Well, Brandon, do you have any non-traditional Christmas songs that you could recommend to us? Maybe just a small handful here.
So I'm kind of being lazy here, mostly because I do think that the one pet peeve that does get under my skin is like novelty comedy Christmas songs. Grandma got run. I will say, Grandma got run over by a reindeer is like I always like not too long after I heard it as a child, I saw the cartoon, which is god awful, terrible. But I will give the song credit. I don't. People might know this, but I'm not someone who just pays too close attention to a lot of lyrics. Grandma dies. Grandma dies.
I mean, that is what
song.
they infer, yeah.
But like that, you wouldn't get that from the cartoon. She just, you know, she has too much eggnog. She gets ran over by a reindeer. Ooh, dang, that was yeah. But she gets back up and she's fine. You know, as all grandparents do whenever they're hit by a deer.
Of course.
But yeah, I will. As much as I give that song credit, they did not hold back. Grandma dies. But all that's to say, 99% of the time, if someone has a comedic Christmas song that they want to play me, I tune it out. But and I think my selection is kind of cheating because it is a selection of traditional covers, but my favorite dearly deceased singer-songwriter Mark Lanegan released a Christmas EP a few years ago, it was probably 10 years ago, called Dark Mark Does Christmas. And whenever I heard that title, I thought it was going to be, you know, oh man, is it? Because he dabbled in some of the heavier sounds. Like, oh man, is it going to be like, you know, industrial or like, you know, Depeche Mode tinged, you know, drum machines and stuff like that? No, like it was a very what am I trying to say? It was a very straightforward rendition of a lot of these songs. Songs like "Oh Holy Night" and "We Three Kings" and a handful of others, of course. They're all very faithfully recreated, but his voice is just so fantastic. I listen to that EP every Christmas. It's not one to be missed if you like, you know, as the title implies, dark, smoky voices. And the thing is, I really don't think he was ever a religious person. I think someone must have had to convince him, like, hey, I know you don't much care for the holidays, but you got a voice that needs to sing for the holidays. I would say in the same vein as like it's traditional Christmas songs, but you know, the artist's own renditions of it. One of my a guitarist that I really like, John Fahey. He is of a genre called American Primitivism, which is just very like intricately played contemporary folk that is influenced by, like Western classical music and things of that nature. Uh, John Fahey had plenty of Christmas albums. In fact, whenever he was a destitute old drunkard, he would kind of like rely on people blindly buying his like volume of Christmas songs. Is like, all right, people blindly buy Christmas albums to play during the holidays. Maybe I'll do that so I can buy a little bit more hooch. But
Okay. Yeah.
his and I cannot recall the name of his first Christmas album, but I love the name of it. Um but it's all like solo acoustic renditions of classic Christmas songs. Let me see here. The album is called The New Possibility, which is not the sort of thing that you would generally name a Christmas album.
Doesn't sound like a Christmas album at all.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. But I love the name of that.
That sounds like a
The
Huey
New
Lewis in the News
Possibility.
album. What's that?
I just love the name of it, like The New Possibility. But he covers standards like Joy to the World and things like that, and it's all fantastic. I love his guitar playing. He was a wonderful, wonderful musician, and those are my choices, I suppose.
Okay, cool. I like that. Well, I mean, if you're going to go with traditional songs being covered, right? One of the top ones that I can recommend is God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen by Ronnie James Dio. That would be one of the ones I would go with. But also, Bad Religion has a Christmas album, and it is all traditional Christmas songs. So just, they play them straight, just kind of in their style. But yeah, a band named Bad Religion playing
Look, I was about to
Christmas
say
songs.
I'm sure it's been joked about. I'm sure it's trite, but they really should have renamed the band Good Religion
just
solely for that album.
Yeah. The album's just called Christmas Songs too. Well, they did the way they did it. So Bad Religion did a Christmas album, and all the proceeds went to charity. Was the idea?
Yeah.
So that was the idea behind that. But it's a very good listen, worth a listen for sure. I pulled up a bunch of ones here that are just non-traditional Christmas songs, like By the Darkness, Christmas Time, Don't Let the Bells End. That's one that I think is probably like behind like I Believe in a Thing Called Love, the only other song that people know by that band in general.
Oh, The Darkness, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a buddy who was really into them for about a year, so like a decade too late. But
that song can only carry you so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lemmy of Motorhead fame did do Run Rudolph Run at one point in time too.
Yeah.
Also a good one as well.
I feel like it's redundant and to call her a friend of the show, since she was on our last episode.
Yeah.
But Claire Deadfield reminded me this past week that them Goo Goo Dolls put out a Christmas album within the last 10 years. So, because of course they did.
Of course.
Of course they did.
They're playing, college bowl halftime shows and putting out Christmas albums. I mean, why wouldn't they be?
Yeah.
What else do they have to do? When you have one mega hit in the 90s, like early 2000s, late 90s, you're doing okay.
Just write it out. Write it out.
Oh, there's no doubt they have the song "Oi to the World." Have you ever heard that one?
That's good. That's
very much a punk type thing, right? Oi punk.
I was gonna mention this one, but I haven't listened to it. But I know that a lot of people often ask, like, "Hey, where are the original Christmas songs? Why aren't more people coming out with original Christmas songs?" Right. And I know that I think Sufjan Stevens has put out a large. I think he put out like I forget if it was like a triple or like a I think it might have been like a quadruple album of like Christmas songs that were all new. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you are in the mood for like a bunch of Christmas songs that are completely new and you've never heard them, go hit up my boy Sufjan.
There you go. I think Gwen Stefani actually by herself did some original songs too recently as well.
Oh, really?
I think like I say recently again, like you said earlier, within the last 10 years.
Within the last 10 years,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, what about "Don't Shoot Me, Santa" by the Killers?
I haven't heard that one.
And there's also is it Big Red Sled or something like that, or Big Red Big Red Sled, but also like I think the Killers have two Christmas songs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think here. They have "Don't Shoot Me, Santa," and God, there's another one that I feel like is out there, but I don't know. This says they did 11.
The Killers did 11 Christmas
Yeah.
songs.
"Don't Waste Your Wishes" is a Christmas compilation album by the Killers. Okay. So I guess I've never
Really?
heard this album all the way through. Oh, "A Great Big Sled." That's the name of the song I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, "A Great Big Sled." And then they did "Don't Shoot Me, Santa," which I think both of those are original songs. Yeah.
Huh.
And then they're on like a compilation with a bunch of other artists, and then they have like a few other songs on that one as well, but that I'm not really familiar with. But yeah, but those are two of the non-traditional ones. But you know, they sound like the Killer songs, but they just add, you know, like bells to them, so they sound more Christmassy in the background as
Good.
well. Someone recently
Good.
told me, and I think I knew this, but I forgot about it, that they are actually a Mormon band.
The Killers.
Yeah, I'm. You hear that right here? I'm trying to search it here. It's not on.
I
their,
knew that. I knew that.
Wikipedia
I knew
page,
that
but-
those dirty bastards in Imagine Dragons were. I knew that was a Mormon band. Dude, they sound like a Mormon band, and I'm not even really a fan of the Killers, but that's still very dismaying.
I'm looking.
to,
No, looking at it right now. It's just the singer Brandon Flowers is a Mormon.
He needs to reconsider. Ladies and gentlemen, the humble podcast. We're very anti-Mormon.
Here's our appeal to Brandon Flowers. Just think about what you're doing, man.
Look, think about the Christmas spirit. What would Santa Claus do? A few moments ago, I simply thought of the concept of Rockabilly Christmas, and my stomach just sank. Like I just got the biggest like pit in my stomach now. I for whatever reason, Rockabilly Christmas sounds like the most unappealing thing in the world.
I mean, so for a second there, you thought that maybe it would have been, but now not so much. So like, if the Reverend Horton Heat did a Christmas song, you wouldn't be on. Or did a Christmas album, you wouldn't be on board.
I have
It's more psychobilly, I guess, but you know.
I have like I have the patience for like 2 or 3 Rockabilly songs a year.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Then you're tapped out.
That is it. That is that's like, if they get weird with it. Like I think I've talked on the show before about Hassel Atkins and how he was a guy in the he heard those early mid 50s Elvis hits, and he saw that it was attributed to Elvis Presley. And he's like, he's doing that all by himself the whole time. He's playing the drums and the guitar and he's singing. So he did that, like, because he thought that Elvis was doing all that simultaneously. Hassel Atkins decided that that's what he was going to do.
Yeah.
And so I enjoy that. A great deal. But the rest of it, I could take or leave.
Yeah. He didn't quite understand that you record multiple tracks at different times. I once saw an acoustic act at a small venue here in my hometown called the Spanish Moon. It doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, rest in peace. I love that place.
I know, it's a great look, man. A lot of heart and soul into that place. Is gone now forever, but we'll remember it forever. But I saw this guy. It was a one guy on acoustic guitar, but he also had a bass drum.
Yeah.
So he would just kick the bass drum to
was
keep
it
the beat.
Was it Bob Cobb?
No, I don't know who this guy was, but I can tell you right now, it was not Bob Cobb. It was some local guy. I thought. I mean, here's the thing. He was very entertaining. Like it was a good show. He was opening for somebody that I went to see. So yeah. Now, but it wasn't someone who I ever heard of again. But he gave me his CD on the way. I was like, oh, that was a lot of fun. And he just handed it to me, and it was pretty good.
Oh, cool.
But could not tell you for the life of me what this guy's name was, and I am sorry to you because you gave me a free CD 15 years ago, and I don't remember your name now.
But it wasn't Bob Cobb. You'd remember
Yeah.
Bob Cobb. Bob
course.
Cobb wears a like a Evel Knievel like helmet on stage. I'm guessing you didn't have one of those, did he?
No, definitely not. Definitely
well.
didn't have an Evel Knievel stage. Helmet on stage. No. But I do want to know out there, Humble Fam, if you're listening, what is your favorite non-traditional Christmas song? How are you changing it up
Yeah.
every year with the Christmas playlist when you have that party with your family, when you have that party with your friends? If you're tired of hearing All I Want for Christmas Is You, what are you putting on the playlist there just to break things up a little bit? Just to bring the party back to life? What are you doing? That's what I want to know.
Better not be rockabilly.
Better not be rockabilly, okay? Because we had it. We're driving over there if it is.
We're sick of it.
God help us.
Yeah.
God help us. Well, Brandon,
Yeah.
the thing is, though, before Christmas, we're going to have to get to Thanksgiving.
Which
Right.
is one of my favorite holidays.
Of course. Because you get to eat a lot. Brandon, you love to cook. Get to
I
cook
do
a
love
lot.
to cook. Oh yeah.
And I think that really what we need to do is we need to give T. Hanks. So I have some
Oh,
taglines.
I thought you were about to say something about Tom Hanks. We need to give
Well,
Tom Hanks
that's
thanks.
the thing. I have some taglines from some Tom Hanks movies here. I'm going to see if you can try and guess
Oh my God.
what Tom Hanks movie I have here based on a tagline from a movie featuring a one Tom
goodness
Hanks.
gracious.
Okay? Let's see if you can get any of these, okay?
All right.
We'll see. I'm in no particular order.
Yeah.
All right. The untold story behind the Miracle on the Hudson. What
Oh my
Tom
gosh.
Hanks movie is that? The untold story behind the Miracle on the Hudson.
I
Hudson
couldn't tell
River.
you.
Up in the Northeast. Something happened there. That is from Sully. The one about
I am
the
not
pilot that
familiar at all.
did the emergency landing on the. It's a true story, as far as I know. Dear God, this one's so on the nose. Let me give you this one here. Extremely sweet and incredibly heartwarming. You're gonna be so mad when I tell you.
That's so many. That's so many
No,
of his movies.
But yeah, but it does describe a lot. But some of those combinations of words and the number of syllables used, etc.
Incredibly sweet.
Extremely sweet and incredibly heartwarming.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right, that's from Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close.
I have heard of neither of these
That's
movies.
his 9/11 movie he did. So there you go.
What? The heartwarming tale of two jets hitting.
Yeah,
two
one
buildings.
worked out, the other one did not. Yeah, that's true. I didn't realize I put those like right next to each other. What about this one? Okay. The true story of a real fake.
Catch Me If You Can?
It is Catch Me If You Can.
Oh,
Nicely
thank
done.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the book, even though like most of that book is BS because that guy was a con man, and then a con man wrote an autobiography, and then what do you know?
Yeah.
But it's still a fun.
It's
a fun
like
read,
Scientology. Yeah.
though. Right, exactly. It's a fun read though, nonetheless.
Yeah.
How about this one? At the edge of the world, his journey begins.
The Green Mile.
Oh, that's a good guess because it sounds like it's got
no.
that gravitas to it. It's actually Castaway.
Oh, okay. See, I wouldn't have guessed that one.
Yeah.
I know Castaway, but like it just sounded so sci-fi.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's a journey involved. Like, it's got to
Yeah.
be some kind of.
And the journey is to the chair.
Yeah,
Gonna
that's
ride the lightning, baby.
That's the thing. Was he on a journey? He was just stuck in one place. I don't know if that really.
Yeah.
matters.
No.
How about this one? You're only young once.
Oh, that's big.
That is big. Absolutely.
Yeah, that has to be big.
That's
Man, what a. I it's not quite on the same level as Revenge of the Nerds, but my God, what a problematic bit of film.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There's if you ever watch Legal Eagle, he does.
Oh, does he go over that?
He does. Yeah, he had never seen the movie before, and he watched it, and he's like, "All right, opening scene. There's attempted murder, so there's that," and it just goes down from there. Yeah. Problematic would be probably the most generous way to explain it at this point in time.
Yeah.
All right, how about this one, Brandon? I got a couple more for you. The
All right, here we go.
story of a lifetime.
That's it?
Now, I want you to think about it. The story of a lifetime.
Oh, boy.
The story of a lifetime. Like you
Saving
could
Private
say-
Ryan.
Oh, okay. That's good. I'm going to give you another shot at it. Think of it like this. You could be like, oh, it's the story of a lifetime. Or you could say it's the story of a lifetime. See what I'm saying?
I'm just thinking that he was in a film about. Oh, wait a second. Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Oh, that's a good one too, because that's the Mr. Rogers one, right?
Yeah.
No, this is from Forrest Gump.
Ah.
It's the story of his yeah. Okay, I've got one more for you. Let's see if you can get this one here. Okay.
Yeah.
From the first laugh, you'll be hooked.
Oh, I almost said Swim Fan. God, what?
You're thinking of it, but you're gonna
I'm
come up with
thinking
the
of that
title.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Yeah, Swim Fan was not that. That was a very different movie.
God, I was like, this is the first movie that popped in my mind whenever we started this.
Was it really?
Yeah, Splash. Is
It's
it
called Splash. Yes, that is the movie. It's the mermaid movie that Tom Hanks made back in
because I mean
84.
that movie's rated PG, but like, and I saw it as a young lad, and literally the entire, like, from what I remember, because I haven't seen the movie in like 25 years, but like I just remember the plot of the movie being like, hey, what if a hot pretty naked lady came out of the sea and had sex with you? Which that is the extent of romance in a like pubescent child's mind.
Yeah.
Like what if a pretty lady just came and kissed me on the mouth? Like that's
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
extent of romance.
PG-13 didn't exist yet.
Yeah,
And actually,
yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. The first PG-13 movie came out that same year, and it was Red Dawn.
Yeah. And man, there were a lot of like, which I think all the films that were released at the time, I would still, despite the fact that the content was different, I'd still say that they were PG-13. But did you ever see European Vacation?
Oh yeah, like a long time ago.
There are so many titties in that PG-13 movie. Like my parents, who were
You got away
like
with a lot.
who were like weirdly strict, like it was really weird. Like up until like too late of an age, like my parents would be like, "You're attracted to a pretty lady." No, we don't do that in this household. Like, so like anytime that like I felt like, all right, I showed any sort of like attraction to women, like it was like, no, that's dirty. But like, here's the thing: European Vacation, once again, PG-13 movie, a lot of titties. There's a tip for all of the listeners at home who don't have unlimited internet access and somehow have found this channel.
Yeah, there are ways around it, right? No, actually, I'm looking here. This is according to an article on sci-fi.com, as in like the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah.
One of the big influences on PG-13 being introduced as a rating.
It was Indiana Jones, right?
Well, Indiana Jones was one of them.
Yeah.
As it says right here, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
And Poltergeist, right?
Might have been Poltergeist, but Gremlins is being cited here in this article.
Oh,
as being a
I
big
can
driver
absolutely
as well
see
because
that.
of the violence. Yeah, it was cartoonish, but still very violent. So, yeah, I mean that was Indiana Jones, probably even Poltergeist. I wonder actually, because I mean a lot of people were definitely scarred by Poltergeist. Not coming up in here, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That is it. That is it. And that is our show, everybody. If you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe and you give us a like and a rating and a comment. Go over to our social media accounts as well at Humble Show. You know where to find us because we're over here having a party every single week. And we'll be back here for another little visit here on the Humble Show next week. But until then, stay humble.